Well, here's a little something that I just did a couple of days ago for Heather after we got back from out of town on a 4th of July celebration with her family. I made her a little herb garden that we've got on the kitchen windowsill. As you can see right now, it only consists of parsley and basil, but we're going to get something else to make it a little more interesting over the next few days. We plan a trip to our local greenhouse, and then we'll make it look like a little garden in the kitchen. And I think Heather would like that because she likes to use the herbs and spices so much in her cooking. Okay, Heather, it's all yours.
Hi everyone, I hope you all had a good 4th of July. I have a recipe for you. It's going to be like a 2-in-1 deal. The reason for that is because I'm making my homemade spaghetti sauce, but I'm also going to show you how to make tomato sauce. A lot of people think that spaghetti sauce and tomato sauce are one and the same, and it kind of is in a way. The only thing is the tomato sauce adds a little bit of different texture into a spaghetti sauce, and I like to do it homemade because it's more affordable and it's a lot more healthy. You don't have to worry about all the chemical stuff that they put in their tomatoes. I normally do this with our fresh tomatoes that we grow in our garden, but our tomatoes are just not ready yet. So I have store-bought tomatoes here, and I also use regular fresh vegetables. Today I'm going to be using frozen. This is the first time I've done this with frozen, but we'll see how it turns out. What I have in back of me is I have 5, I don't know what type of tomatoes they are. They look like beefsteak. I think they're a little bit smaller than beefsteak tomatoes, and I just cut the tops off them. Oiled them with a little bit of salt and extra virgin olive oil with some salt and pepper, and a handful of cherry tomatoes that I really needed to use. I'm going to roast these in the oven at 350 degrees for probably about 45 minutes. I want them to release their flavors and their juices, and then I want the juices to concentrate, and this is going to be the part of the spaghetti sauce. And I need these roasted, and when I come back I'll show you how I prep the tomatoes for the tomato sauce, which is a completely different animal. Yes, it's all tomato based, but I'll show you what I do. Hi everybody, so this is what I'm going to show. This is all the stuff that I put in my tomato sauce. Now, the reason why I'm going with dried herbs is because tomato sauce, if you buy it at the store, it's just basically sauce. There's no, chunks of vegetables or anything like that in there. But there is some flavor, and I just want to season mine up. What I have here in this bowl right here, I halved my tomatoes, and then I took a little spoon and I dug out the core and the seeds. You don't want that in a tomato sauce. In a spaghetti sauce, it's okay. And the skin, everybody has their opinion about the skin. I think a lot of the vitamins and nutrients are in the skin, so I'm not too fussy about it. I usually just leave it there because it's good for you. Okay, so what I have here for seasonings, I have some thyme. I have some Mrs. Dash onion herb. If you don't have this available to you, you can get the stuff that has salt in it. I think McCormick has one that's very similar to Mrs. Dash. I try not to use a lot of salt in my cooking because salt is naturally in food anyway. I have some Italian seasoning, some onion, and garlic powder, and that's all I'm going to throw in here. In the pan, well, in the pot on the stove, I already heated up a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This is just to get these guys kind of going a little bit. So I'm going to dump the tomatoes in there. Okay? And this is where I'm going to add the seasonings. I'm going to add, I don't measure anything, I just kind of throw it in there. So when I see the tomatoes are semi-coated with this, that's when I stop. And then sprinkle some of the Mrs. Dash in there. There's going to be a little bit more because it comes out rather fast. But it's okay. There's nothing in it that will hurt you. Italian seasoning. And I get a little liberal with Italian seasoning. I mean, it's a spaghetti sauce, you know what I mean?
And Heather's Italian.
Yes, on my dad's side, I am. And then we got some onion powder. And again, it's just going in for flavor. Nothing too fancy. And a little bit of garlic powder.
Yeah, a good friend of mine who lives in Colorado, I've known her for a number of years. Her name is Doreen Bob, and she's Italian as well, and she's from New Jersey. And she used to always tell me, Toby, never too much garlic. And Heather kind of has that same belief, never too much garlic.
And she's right on that. You know, garlic is really good for you. It's an antioxidant, which means it will help if you want to get rid of wrinkles. It's a good immune booster. Oh gosh, we could sit here all day and tell you about the health benefits of what garlic does for a person. The powdered stuff that I use, I don't know what's really in it. I mean, does anybody? Some people say that there's salt in it, and that's probably half the reason why I don't really cook with salt. I don't like to, because everything's salty enough. And it doesn't help much that I gotta really be careful of my salt intake. Now it's kind of juicy in there. You see how that goes? I am gonna add a little bit of water. Now, what the water is going to do, it's basically going to concentrate all those flavors. And for as long as I'm roasting the other tomatoes for the spaghetti sauce, for the tomato sauce, these are going to be doing their own thing over here in the pot. So I added a cup of water, and I'm basically just going to cover this and put it on to like a medium heat. When it starts boiling, you want to reduce that probably down to about 2 or 3 on your stove. If you don't have a 2 or 3 on your stove, you probably want to go for a medium low. So when I come back, I'll show you what I do with my roasted tomatoes. I know I got tomatoes going on everywhere. It's a bit confusing, but believe me, the end product will be wonderful. Now with this recipe, it's versatile. You don't have to use it for pasta. You can use it as a pizza sauce. You can use it as a dipping sauce for vegetables, for breads, for whatever. You could use it for just about anything that you would want to put a spaghetti sauce or a marinara sauce on. It's versatile like that. And if you don't want to go ahead and make the spaghetti sauce, the tomato sauce is quick and easy. The longest part of the tomato sauce is just cooking it. So I'll see you when I get back, and I'll show you how I just hodgepodge this all together.